3rd, 1925. So that makes you how many years now?
95 years. I'm heading towards 96 years. About 3 months' time, I'll be 96 years.
My God, my God, my God. Eli, Eli, Eli. Lamasha Baktanai. My God, have mercy. Now the man is going to be 95 very soon.
96.
96 very soon, I beg your pardon. He's 95 right now. And he's sitting right here with us. Now, where were you born and who were your parents?
I was born in Osu.
Osu?
And my parents, both parents, my mother was a daughter of Chief of Sempe.
Okay.
And my father too hailed from Teshin and Osu. My father also hailed from Teshin, Lenshi. We are the chiefs.
Wow.
We are the chiefs.
Wow. Now, how did you get into the army? Tell me.
Well, when I attended school at Osu, senior boarding school, and anytime that I saw the soldiers, they inspire me a great deal.
Wow.
The army is in my blood. So after concluding my senior school, I decided to join the army.
Interesting.
1943.
1943, I was not born. My God have mercy.
So, the Accountant General Department, where it is situated now, it was our enlistment depot, enlistment center. So I went there.
Wow.
And I was enlisted there. Before my enlistment, I looked so young. So there was a captain that was in charge of the enlistment and the lieutenant. They saw me and they were so happy. I was so young.
You were 18 years old.
I was 16 years when actually I went to the war.
My God have mercy.
So they put a very dicey question to me that if you are asked to kill your mother, would you be able to kill your mother?
Wow.
You know, it was a very important question
difficult.
because normally to kill your own mother, it's a serious matter.
It's a serious matter, yes.
So I told them, well, if the state ordered me to do it, I would do it. Because the state comes before my mother.
Wow.
First before my mother. They were extremely happy. So the captain told me, very good of you. You are brave. You will be a brave soldier.
Was he a black man or a white man?
White.
Wow.
We were then under the British. So he was so happy and said, you'll be a very good soldier.
Wow.
Immediately they enlisted me.
At the age of 16?
16.
That was 1941, thereabout.
Yeah. No, it was 43 I joined the army.
Now, if you were born in 1925...
But because I attended school.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll let it rest there. All right. So, when you were enlisted, did you mean it when you said that, hey, if the state orders me to shoot my mother, I will do that?
Because I love Ghana so much. I love the Gold Coast.
Wow.
So much.
Not Ghana?
Not yet. Not yet. So I love Gold Coast so much, so I was eager to serve my country.
Wow.
So, where I was happy. And you know where the police headquarters is situated now? It was our camp. We were all taken there with other enlisted soldiers. So we went there. I started my mechanical training.
Interesting.
Okay.
What about the Gold Coast did you love?
Gold Coast. Pardon?
What about the Gold Coast did you love?
I love Gold Coast so much because during those days, things were a bit better. You know, all over the world, you know, in the olden days, things were so cheap. Everything was there for us. In spite of the fact that we were colonial subjects, but we enjoy life. And our pay was so good. Our parents, all of them were able to look after us.
Interesting. Wow. So the pay was good in the days of the Gold Coast, right?
Though it was small, but things were so cheap.
Things were cheap.
Yeah. Imagine they sell sugar. Sometimes about, how do we call it, 6 cedis. 6 pesos. 6 pesos at that time.
At that time.
Very, very cheap.
The Gold Coast was good.
At that time, things were good all over the world, not like today.
So you joined the army at the age of 16.
Yeah.
And when you joined the army, you started your mechanical training, as you said. What did it entail? What kind of training did you go through?
Well, it was called MTTC, Motor Transport Company.
Wow.
Training, technical men. Yeah, so they took me through the mechanical training, vehicle, how to repair vehicle, and then the vehicle, we had assembly house there where they trained the mechanical men.
Wow.
It took us through all.
And what kind of vehicles were you
apart
taught?
From that, too, besides, they taught us about real military, how to shoot, and those. We used to go firing range.
Okay.
Alongside the training.
What kind of vehicles were you taught to repair?
Bedford.
Bedford.
And then the officers, Humber. During these days, the Humber.
Humber.
But later on, they brought American vehicles, Dodge also.
Dodge.
Dodge.
And you had an assembly house where you could assemble a whole car.
They took us through the mechanical training.
Mechanical training.
They taught us how to repair the engines and also very, all the important sites. They taught us all.
This was when you were 16 years.
16 years.
Lord God have mercy. All right. So you were taught how to shoot at the age of 16.
Exactly.
And you went to the firing range.
How to kill.
How to kill. What did they teach you about killing?
They taught us all the rudiments about fighting. Because you have to learn all the techniques so that when you face the enemy, you will not be scared.
You will not be scared?
Yes.
So teach me now, how would I meet the enemy and would not be scared? And how do I kill the enemy as a soldier? Teach me.
Because the purpose of going there is to either to kill or you will be killed. So when you see an enemy, you will not hesitate at all.
I see.
You will never be sluggish. Whenever you are sluggish, the enemy will kill you. So you have to take advantage. Kill him before he kills you.
So if you had a gun in your hand and you were attacking an enemy, which part of the body would you look for?
Definitely, the heart is here.
On the chest.
And the most pathetic side of the fighting, when you have this thing, bayonet fighting, close combat, sometimes you fight, and then you are close to the enemy.
Yes.
They try to overrun your trenches.
Yes.
You have to increase your fighting power, the shooting power. So we rely mostly on the brain gunners, like Asabre and Abdullahi. Abdullahi from the north, Sandema, Asabre from Kokofu. These two young men, wonderful.
Wow.
They don't know what is called fear.
My God.
They were older than me, but the way they fight, ferocious.
Asabre and Abdullahi.
Abdullahi from Sandema.
From Sandema.
And the other day when I came, I mentioned the same name.
Oh, you remember?
Yes.
Wow.
Sandema, Abdullahi, and then Asabre, Kokofu.
Wow.
These two young men.
Wow. I remember you said Abdullah had juju.
Yeah, Abdullahi, Sandema.
He had juju, right?
Well, I cannot precisely say so.
All right.
Though we saw a lot of people dead with all the talismans. Yes.
Wow.
If somebody tells you they don't do these things there, it is not true.
Okay. So tell me how you got into the war. Now, you were enrolled or enlisted at the age of 16.
Yes.
How long did it take you to get into the war?
Well, the question is, we had to go overseas. 10 of us were drafted from the unit. I'll make it very brief.
Yes.
You see, I traveled with the overall boss, Colonel Leiden, to all the mining areas. When we concluded, and on the way, there was technical hitch on 2 occasions. I managed to repair the vehicle.
Wow.
after that, we toured the whole mining areas. Obuase, Takwa, Bogoso, Pristia, all these places. When we concluded, he asked me to go towards Axim. And those days, vehicles were so few.
Were you driving?
I knew how to. Yes, I was driving the same.
All right.
I was the driver at the same time, a mechanic. Yes. So we continued, but the vehicle developed, technical fault at a very remote place.
I see.
A bushy place. And those days, very hardly before you see a vehicle passing, because vehicles were so few. And no asphalt road, only the gravel road.
Wow.
So I managed.
Wow.
I saw in the face of the kennel, he was a bit scared that we might slip on the way.
Yeah.
But I managed, I worked assiduously, and I managed to repair the vehicle.
Interesting.
He was extremely happy.
And he was white?
White, our commander.
Whoa. Now, what were you touring these gold mines for?
I don't know, because we were colonial subjects. One. Besides, a soldier has an order. Obey before complain. So you have no right to ask your boss.
Wow.
Why he was going to the mines. No.
Was your boss kind to you? You were the driver. Was he taking good care of you?
I was not under his command at that time.
Okay.
But he just traveled from Accra. Accra was our headquarters. He just traveled to Takoradi, and I was giving command to go with him. Yes.
So on that journey, did he take a good care of you?
Very, very good.
What did he do?
Anything that he ate, I also ate it.
Interesting. Wow. Anything that he ate, he gave you the same thing.
Exactly.
And what kind of conversations did you have when you were driving him?
He was happy because he opened up. Though he was my commander, but he opened up. And so many things about the military.
Okay.
And also my educational background and all these things, we discussed it.
All this while you were 16 years old?
Yes.
My God have mercy. All right. So when you drove him all around, how long did it take you to get into the war?
Well, from Axim, we drove back to our base, Takoradi. So he asked Major Brunner. He was very happy about the way I conducted myself.
I see what
you mean. The way I saved the situation by repairing the vehicle on the way. Now, he asked Major Brunner that he must be promoted. I must be promoted.
Wow.
He asked him to promote me.
Wow.
Yes. So, Major Brunner sent the message to headquarters. But instead of my promotion, I was drafted to go to the war in India and Burma.
Interesting.
I was shocked, but because I was happy when you told me. But later it turned out that they said they wanted the best soldiers in the unit.
Wow.
So 10 of us were drafted. Actually.
Wow.
Myself, Hammond. Then Ibiokai, Cranton, Crenshaw, Anoba, Amwonu, Anefi,
wow.
A.B. Mensah, Lunu, and Lomoti. The 10 of us is always in my memory.
My God. Are they all alive?
2 of them died, perished during the war in Burma. But 8 of us came. Because we were all friends from the unit.
Are they alive now?
I don't think so, because they were by far older than me. I'm now 95.
95?
They were by far more than me, probably.
About 10 years older than you?
No, when I was 16, these people were about 25, 26. And one of them is even about 31. Yes.
Were you the youngest soldier at the battle?
I was probably the youngest, because normally people from 18, but I was 16, because the captain that interviewed me, when he put a question to me whether I killed my mother, and he was impressed. So after he saw that I was young, but still they enlisted me.
You went to war. Now tell me what you experienced. What was the journey of the war? How did you get there? Did you go by ship? Did you go by aeroplane? How did you get?
Very good. I mentioned the thing.
Yes.
That were enlisted. Week later, we were all taken to the harbor, Takoradi. We saw a very huge ship with 2 funnels. HMS Sakasha. It was a troop carrier.
Wow.
2,500 troops on board. We saw more than, probably slightly more. But we also joined. We went there with our officers. So they made sure we were giving a place, nice place, and so forth on board. Couple of days later, the troops moved to Sierra Leone. 3 days, 2 days, the third day we arrived in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, they have a natural harbor. Not, artificial one, real natural harbor.
Okay.
The land. They have a gateway to enter. So many ships. Then we went to excursion that day because it's a hilly place. So almost every day rain. Freetown, hilly place. So rain. So when we returned from, the excursion, when we came back, the following day, from the deck, because normally we sleep under the deck, we eat there with our place nicely prepared, and then we used to sleep in a hammock. So they tied it here, and then
you be swinging in there.
Yes, swinging the hammock. So immediately we saw these so many ships. We went there alone, but with so many ships. So actually, we left Sierra Leone with 21 ships, troops on board. I don't know actually. I didn't know actually where they came from. You have no right to ask, because we were also troops, thinking of ourselves, how God will help us to go and come back safely.
Were you scared in any way?
I was not scared. We must be frank with you. You see, when you are young, the blood is very hot.
Yes.
Besides, you haven't got a real experience in life.
That's true.
Because you are young.
Yes.
So we don't. When I went to the war, there was nothing like fear.
What year was this?
1943.
1943.
Yes.
He was right at the battle at the age of 16. My God have mercy.
In Burma.
In Burma. My God have mercy. What kind of food were they serving you on the ship?
Thank you. We have something we call it joro. It's like a cocoa. Like maize.
Like maize.
From the Nigerians, they eat it a lot. They prepare it like a banku.
And they call it joro.
Joro.
Ah.
And then these people, they prepare sometimes corned beef, soup, and we used to eat it.
With a lot of beef?
Yes. Big fish.
Ah.
Cow meat.
Ah.
And then also, sometimes another food, rice, rice, yeah.
Do you know if you had vegetarians amongst you?
No, hardly, because we hardly discuss these things.
Okay.
Everybody thinking how he will survive.
Were you all men or you had women with you?
No, men.
In those days, no women soldiers?
No, those days. They started the army with women after independence.
Wow.
Ghana.
So they're all men?
Men.
Jesus Christ. Were you allowed to drink alcohol, smoke marijuana, smoke cigarettes?
They hide themselves. They hid themselves to do it. But when they get hold of you, you will regret.
Interesting. Which one were you hiding to do?
Because I didn't drink, neither smoke. Even after the war.
Wow.
When I was stores manager at the Ambassador Hotel,
wow.
I was not drinking.
Interesting. All right, so the war in Burma. Now, you've told us about this war before, but briefly, was it a difficult war?
It was ferocious.
War.
Very fearful. If you have not experienced war before, war is not a child's play.
Interesting.
Anybody that participates or fights in a war, everybody must have respect for that person. Death. You see death. People screaming in pain when wounded. It's beyond your comprehension. I'm telling you.
My God.
It's not a joke.
Now, it's a war. And what did you do? You moved your ship all the way from Sierra Leone. And did you know where the enemy was? Were you heading towards the enemy?
No.
Or both parties agreed that let's meet here and fight?
No. From Sierra Leone, with all the 21 ships, you remember I told you?
Yes.
We headed towards Gibraltar.
Ah, all right.
Gibraltar, we all went there, the 21 ships. The following day, at dawn, all the ships, vanished into thin air.
Wow.
Nobody knew where the ships went. You have no right to ask. Yeah, the same thing. We didn't know where they came from. They joined us. There also, at Gibraltar, they left into thin air. It was our ship alone that entered into the Mediterranean Sea.
Interesting.
Then we sailed about 5 days. Then the next stop was Port Said in Egypt.
Egypt.
Port Said in Egypt. From Port Said, we slept there. The following day, we entered into the Suez Canal. Yes, the Suez Canal. It was very interesting.
Wow.
The following day, we stopped at Port Said. From Port Said to Port Said, 100 miles.
Okay.
So we stopped, to exercise our limbs a bit. So,
on the ship or
yes,
off the ship?
Yeah, off the ship. A landing craft.
Okay.
Ferried all of us, the troops, to the seaside, the shore.
To exercise?
Yes, to exercise. And then we engaged in all manner of sports. Some running, some boxing, some football. From 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock. Then the landing craft, we all went into the landing craft. Then ferried us to the ship. Immediately, we started, when we concluded, we started to move.
Wow.
To sail through the Suez Canal. Port Said, Port Suez, to Suez Canal. We sailed until we reached the Red Sea. The Red Sea is a very calm like a river.
My God, have mercy.
It's not wavy ones like a main sea.
Where is the Red Sea?
In Egypt. Egypt.
Okay.
So we sailed through the Red Sea, and then we reached a point where we saw a very big tower on the left, one also on the right. So we asked the officers. They said, you see this point? This is where Moses and the Israelites, they crossed the sea.
Wow.
It was a very historic decision.
Oh, my God, have mercy.
You see? Because why? When Pharaoh, many always have an impression that the sea is red.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Historically, when Pharaoh allowed the Israelites to go, later on he changed his mind. So his troops, the Egyptian army, they followed the Israelites to recapture them.
That's true.
Then, all of a sudden, they were trapped.
Yes.
Nowhere to go. So Jehovah instructed Moses to raise his staff. When he raised the staff, the sea parted into two.
Yes.
The Israelites walked quickly. All the Israelites, they ferried. They went through the sea where it parted. When the Egyptian troops arrived there, they attempted to follow the Israelites, but the sea covered all of them.
And finished them?
Yes, killed them. There were casualties and everything, death. That was why the place is called Red Sea. But not the color is red. Because there were casualties and death. Plenty of bloodshed.
So the red simply marks death.
Exactly.
Bloodshed.
Exactly.
So before it was called the Red Sea, it was something else.
Yes. Many people, I want everybody to know that the sea is not red.
It's not red.
But rather casualties and death.
And it's very calm.
Calm.
And you were shown the right place specifically where the sea parted into
Exactly.
two. And when you were crossing
because they have marked the place.
Wow.
With tower. White tower here and here. And precisely that was where the Israelites crossed the sea.
Wow. And when you were crossing there, what was the feeling like?
It was just wonderful. That now I've read a lot about this place in the Bible. It is a real thing.
I see.
It is there. right up to today.
Were you scared that you might also end up like the Pharaoh and his troops?
No.
Swallowed up by the sea?
No, because we ourselves, we were preparing to meet our enemy in Burma.
I see. Okay. So, I mean, in wars like this, explain to me, is it that the two enemies decide that let's meet here and fight? Or you go to the camp of the enemy?
No, it is the enemy. It is the government. The two governments, I have no, quarrel with the Japanese. But it was instruction.
Okay.
From above. You have to go to this place and fight. So our officers led us to the place. If you don't fight, you will be killed. So you have to fight with all your might and main.
Interesting. So you were shown where the enemy was?
Well, first of all, when we arrived, everybody was trained in India. I'll make it a short history for you. You know, the Japanese conquered all the islands around Burma. It was Burma that was the main base of the British, the army and the seat of government. The Burmese were under the British at that time, like we were under the British in Gokos. So, immediately, these Burmese, we were trained in India, all the troops. We had two divisions, 81st and 82nd Division. 81st Division comprised of 5th, 6th, and 7th Battalion. Then 82nd, where I belong, also comprised of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Battalion.
Okay.
Nigeria also contributed the same 3 battalions. Gambia and Sierra Leone also contributed. And 10 battalions from a division. 10,000 men. You know, and the 81st Division, their commander was General Woolner. But 82nd, our commander was General Stockwell. And our brigade commander was Brigadier E.W. Weston, a very huge man, about 6 feet 5'6".
White man.
Yes, a rare soldier that we inspire when you see him with hairs all over the face and body.
My God, have mercy. Did you have black commanders?
We were not allowed to be officers at that time. We had only one officer, an AV, St. Anthony, who happened to be a captain, a wonderful man, a rare soldier, a fighting soldier.
Wow.
And I'm so proud to mention.
Wow.
St. Anthony.
From the Volta region?
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful soldier.
Wow.
A lot, if I am allowed to speak about this man. So, he went to the war. He was in the battalion, 7th Battalion. He took wonderful. I repeat, wonderful. We all admired him.
Wow.
Because he was black from the Gokos. We all felt so proud about him.
Interesting.
He was our champion.
Your champion. Wow. Okay. Now you arrived in Burma, right?
Yes.
And how did the war begin?
Yes. You know, first of all, we had our training. And then, 5 miles to Pune City, all the troops, we were trained there. There were Nigerian troops, Gokos troops, Gambia and Sierra Leone troops. We had our, different camps. Our camp was called Kumasi Company.
Kumasi Company?
Yes.
At that time, was Nigeria called Nigeria?
Of course, all of them,
okay.
Nigeria.
Okay.
So Nigerian troops, when we arrived, not knowing that within the vicinity, there were other troops too. We were new, we arrived. But we learned about few days later, there were other troops within the vicinity. Nigerian troops also, their camp was called Sokoto Company. And then Gambia and Sierra Leone troops, they all live at one place, one camp, called Batos Company.
Batos, okay.
Batos Company. But occasionally, we used to come to play football.
Oh.
And then sometimes we go assault course, war training, together, all of us.
Okay.
And war training and the assault course. And then maneuvers, military terms.
You were taught how to fix a car. Were you also taught how to fix your gun?
Good. While we came, though I came from the workshops, but once there was a time when there were no accessible roads for the vehicle. You become an infantryman. Because first of all, we were trained as soldiers. We knew how to shoot about a war. So, because we were trained as infantrymen, at the same time, as a soldier, you have to know it. Like the medical field, you will be trained as a medical doctor. Later on, you branch to your specialized course, like gynecologist, and eye specialist, dentist, and then surgery. The same in the army. We had our electricians, lieutenants, and everything. We were trained as mechanical men. So that we would went there to repair the American jeeps when there is fault, technical heat. We went there, the 10 of us. So we were divided. 3 of us went to, I was in 3rd Battalion as a mech. The others 2 went to 2nd Battalion, you see, and then the 1st Battalion.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you know how to dismantle a gun and fix it back?
Proper.
I see.
Proper. We were trained. We went through all these things.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me, when did you shoot or when did you fire the first shot?
1943. But there is one thing many people don't know. If a real soldier who has truly been to war and you ask him, how many people did you kill? If the man says 2, 3, it's a lie. Then he hasn't been to war.
Interesting.
He will just smile. You see? This is how the thing is. If you are a real soldier who has been to war, you cannot say, I killed 2, 3 people.
Why is that so?
No. Yes, because sometimes we shoot fighting power at random. When the enemy position, you pump all your bullets there.
Okay.
For instance, like a lot of these people, snipers, they hide in the trees.
Okay.
And they killed many people.
Oh my
they
gosh.
did actually havoc to all of us. So when the gun sound from the trees,
yes,
one time, all of us used to direct our gun to the inside the tree.
That's right.
Then sometimes you see a human being. We kill them also.
But when did you fire the first shot at the war? What happened and you had to shoot for the first time in the war?
Because we were attacked. Actually, normally we fought at different sectors.
Okay.
Some fought at the south, the seaside, from Cock Bazar.
Yes.
From Cock Bazar, then you go to Akiap. Akiap is the seaside. Many people fought there. Our signalers, almost, with the brigade command, always, brigade command always goes with the signalers.
That's right.
They used to tell us the position of the enemy.
That's right.
Then we plan our strategy, how to attack them. You see? So the signalers always inform us. They know the positions, then they will tell us, this hill is called so-and-so hill. So we will plan our strategy, how to smoke them out from the place.
Okay. So, Ni Ashate Hammond is my guest, WO1, Second World War veteran. He's 95 years old. And in just a couple of months, he would go straight up to 96. He's telling us about so many different things in warfare. So, WO1, tell me this. When you got to Burma, at least you had all your training and everything. When did you pull out your gun to fire for the first time at the war? What, did you shoot an animal or what happened?
You see, we were all trained in India.
Yes.
And the place, actually, 81st Division went first into the war. They had earlier had their training. 1942, later part of 42. They arrived there earlier. I was in 82nd. We arrived later. So they had their training. And, you know, I will tell you something briefly. You know, I mentioned the Japanese conquer all the islands.
Yes.
Then they invaded Burma, the main base of the British.
Yes.
And chased the British out. This truth, they know it. They chased the English troops out together with the people there, because it was their main base, offices, everything. They chased them to India. And when they chased them to India, they didn't stop. They followed them into India. So they captured all the borders, towns. They captured there. So when our troops arrived, 81st Division, they were trained earlier. Our commanders felt that no, the fighting would be two fighting, one in India and one in Burma. So they trained well the 81st Division with General Wona. So immediately they concluded their training. They established their bridgehead. All the supplies went there. And the border between India and Burma called Chiringa. I was trained in Kulna. Others were trained in Chittagong, few miles down south. You see, so after our training, the 81st Division, they started the training, established their bridgehead. Then they confronted the Japanese troops. They crossed Chiringa. Chiringa, the border, then into Burma.
Okay.
They started the fighting. They pushed the Japanese. Ferocious fighting because we didn't know at that time their tactics, the way they fight. So our troops fought them. Ferocious fighting.
Were you part of it at that time?
No, we were then in India.
Okay.
They crossed the border to Burma to start the fighting. And it was planting. We fought for 6 months. They returned, retreated, then we took over from them.
Oh, so you took over from them.
It's the second division.
All right, I get it perfectly. Okay, so now I'm going to look at some other very interesting thing. Now, how long did you fight for?
Well, it was 6 months, 6 months. We spent 2 years at the battlefield.
My God have mercy. Now tell me again, why were you fighting?
Well, this is a very nice question. It was instructions given to us from above. You have no right to question them. We were colonial subjects, number one. And then we have instructions and order. Obey before complain. No matter if you don't like what he said, you have to keep quiet. And we have our NCOs there. But how are you going to complain? They give you instruction, you have to.
What is NCO?
NCO means non-commissioned officer.
Non-commissioned officer. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you did not know the specific reason you were fighting?
Because we were colonial subjects, we fought for Britain and the Gold Coast.
And they did not tell you, oh, we are fighting these people because of this, because of that.
Because we were trained, educated. So I knew that about Hitler, and even I know the axis, that Hitler, Germany, Italy, and Japan, they were allies. And then Britain, America, and then Russia, they were also allies against the Japanese and this group.
Why?
The Allied group. Because they were the enemies. Hitler started the war, 1939. And he had their own group, his friends, Japan, Emperor Hirohito, his group. And then this man, Italy, Mussolini.
Yes.
Yeah, also, they were three. And these people were America, Franklin Roosevelt, and then Joseph Stalin, and Winston Churchill.
What is 939?
1939.
Oh, 1939.
1939.
Okay.
The war started.
All right, so you fought for 2 years on the run.
Yeah.
What did you see on the battlefield that you'll never forget?
Thank you very much for asking this question. It was terrible. Sometimes short of food. For 3-4 days, we rely on our biscuit and corned beef.
What kind of biscuits were you eating?
How do you call it? This flat one. It's called biscuit, military biscuit.
Military biscuit.
Even they sell some in the store during Christmas.
Okay.
Crackers.
Crackers?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. We had the military one. And then the corned beef. In the absence of food. This is what we used to do. Then we eat until a parachute drop food for us and ammunition. Then we start the fighting. We continue the fighting. We don't stop.
Wow.
We rely on biscuits and corned beef during the fighting and going on. Yeah, day and night. And sometimes even we have plenty of socks. We cross shallow rivers, sometimes here up to. That was why during the wartime, they never enlisted the short people. You see?
So somebody like Sammy Flex
would have never been... about 6 feet, 5 feet 6.
Oh.
The latest, the minimum, 5 feet 6. We cross rivers.
It means I wouldn't have qualified to join the army.
I'm more than 5 feet 6.
Okay.
I was more than 5 feet 6. Though young. I see. Slim. So we cross the river, we carry plenty of socks.
Wow.
When you cross the river, the fighting still goes on.
Okay.
And the fighting will take about 3 days continuous fighting. So that the shoes and the socks, you cross the river, so wet, and still no time to do it.
Wow.
No time. You continue the fighting.
Were you fighting only in the daytime or in the night?
We fought daytime, night.
I see.
It was in the joke.
Oh, my God.
Brother, what I have passed through, a meal of life. It was beyond your comprehension.
My God have mercy.
I'm telling you. The Japanese, the most ferocious human fighters I've ever seen. When you capture a Japanese, he has disgraced his family.
My God.
He has disgraced the whole family. But when he dies, it's an honor to the family.
My God have mercy.
You see their mentality. From their infancy, they indoctrinated them. When you die in the war, you go to God straight away.
Wow.
So everybody wanted to go to God.
How do you feel when you meet a Japanese now? Do you remember the war?
We are brothers.
I see.
The war is finished. There is peace. We cannot continue to be enemies always. You see, I love, when I see a Japanese now, I love him. We are brothers. We were asked to kill each other. Was I having any problem with any Japanese? But he was asked to kill, and he would have killed me. So I had to defend myself.
You had to defend yourself. No 2 weeks about that. So when you ran out of food, what did you do?
Well, no complaint. Only the biscuit and corned beef. You economize it.
You never ran out of the biscuits and corned beef?
No, you have to economize it.
Wow.
And you know the worst part is, in India, their this thing is, their river is Ganges. In Burma, Irrawaddy.
Irrawaddy.
In Ghana, Volta. So in Burma, Irrawaddy River is the biggest one. And you know sometimes when somebody is killed, and we don't see the person, you see later on the person floating on the water.
Lord God have mercy.
And this water that the dead people float on it, the same water we drink. No water anywhere.
Oh, God have mercy.
So we put it in our water bottle. They put chemical inside against the disease. And it's like a salt. So you just gargle. You cannot drink the salt.
Oh, my God.
So you just gargle and then poof, the rest. Nothing.
Ni Ashete Hammond, W01, is my guest. Second World War veteran. My God, is right here. Soldiers like sex a lot. How did you cope with sex for 2 solid years like that?
You have to control yourself. No time to think about woman. At all. You think of how you will survive. I remember quite vividly that they wrote me a letter from back home.
I see.
That my sister was dead.
Oh.
I wrote back to tell them that me, myself, I'm a dead goat.
Oh, my God. Dead goat.
I could die anytime.
Fire!
I could die anytime. So, no, they must not write me about death again.
Dead goat.
So, yes, so they stopped.
How did you receive this letter? You were on the battlefield. How did you get it?
Everybody gets letter from home. They distribute it to us.
Oh, they will send them first to the army unit, and then they will bring them to the war front. Oh, interesting. So when you read about your sister's death, it didn't shake you?
I didn't feel anything.
Because you were a dead goat.
Exactly.
My God have mercy. President Mahama should listen to the proper dead goat.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
And when sometimes, the most pathetic part is when sometimes short of food, and the battle was raging. I will say this without, bothering. Then you're in your trench. You feel to urinate.
Yes.
We open our palm and urinate in your palm and drink it.
Lord God have mercy.
Because you could not actually, the same trench, you urinate there and you sit inside the trench. No.
My God have mercy.
So you have to do this.
That was terrible.
Yes.
How about wild animals and all those? Because we know that.
You have asked a very nice question. We had, in the Burma, we had this thing, tigers there. The same like India, tigers and so forth. But animals, because of the gun, shooting, they all sometimes run away from the place. You see, but hyenas, we have plenty of hyena.
Okay.
Hyena.
Yes.
Like a dog.
Yes, the hyena, yes.
Hyena. Plenty there. And then we had snakes. But some short snakes too there. In Burma. Short snakes. We were not afraid of the snakes because we had a machete. You see the cutlass, we call it machete.
Yes.
Watch when we pass under the tree. We always watch it so that the moment you see, you kill it.
You cut the head.
Yeah, you cut the head. Otherwise, it will go around your head, your neck. We used to kill them, but we were not afraid because we were experiencing greater things that were greater fear than.
Did you go into the war because you loved the Gold Coast or because you wanted to make money?
Money? Money was, we were receiving 30 cedis a month.
Was it 30 pounds or 30 cedis?
No, pounds. Pounds?
My God.
My God, pounds. 30 shillings. I call it, during those shillings.
Yes.
30 shillings for all this, our trouble, our fighting.
For the 2 years.
It's terrible.
30 shillings.
30 shillings.
What could 30 shillings
I was
buy?
in the army for 3 years and slightly over. But our pay was 30 shillings.
A month.
A month.
A month. Okay.
I remember Calcutta, we were passing.
Yes.
We met some of the American troops.
In India?
Yes, in India. These are blacks. They were African Americans among the troops. We had some time, and then our leisure time, short period, all the troops. We joined them. They were so happy to see us because we were also black. So they asked us about our pay and everything. We told them as the army. They said, you joined a bad army.
My God.
30 shillings? What is this? What you were going to do with it? But they told us for them what they were enjoying at that time. It was allowance. But their own real pay being paid back home in America. Into the bank. But this one, we call it life one. You see, enjoyment. Because nobody knew whether he would come back. So they enjoy. I'm
going to ask you another interesting question. Did you receive monthly salary whilst you were on the battlefield, or it was paid back at home?
It's not on the battlefield. Well, what were you going to buy?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yes.
So they kept it for us.
They kept it for you?
We were receiving, but not at the battlefront.
Okay. So the money was paid back at home?
Yes.
Okay, so that after the war, you will go and get it.
Exactly.
And those who died, did their families get the monies?
Exactly. But you see, because I was not working at the treasury or somewhere, we were interested in whatever they give you, the money. Okay, you collect it.
Okay. So when you were fighting, were some of the British soldiers fighting with you?
Of course.
They were part of the fight?
All the officers
were fighting.
All the officers were white soldiers. And I mentioned NCO, non-commissioned officers. They were the sergeants, staff sergeants, and up to, in the older days we call W1.
Yes.
Called Regimental Sergeant Major.
Yes.
Who commands the battalion. And then Company Sergeant Major, CSM. Also the second command. The blacks. So that those days, the highest place a black will reach RSM.
RSM.
WO1. When the whites left, they were using WW. When the war ended, they left. Before we started using this WO1 and so forth. No. Our own was sergeant, staff sergeant, CSM, company sergeant major, a crown on a patch of leather. And then the same thing, regimental sergeant major. It was the boss of the whole unit.
All right. What was your post during the war?
I was a typical private.
Private. Private Ni Ashate Hammond.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. So, I mean, when you were fighting, who died more? Was it the British or the Gold Coast people?
The Japanese. Actually, always you have to pile the pressure on them. So we were following them. If you allow yourself to be, to be pushed, it won't help us. They will kill all of you. But we rather always try to put the pressure on them.
So on your side, you were not fighting alone as people from the Gold Coast. There were Nigerians and so on and so forth.
No, different sectors.
Different sectors, okay.
The Nigerian troops were fighting somewhere. We also saw, it was a broad area.
Okay.
So we fought near the Arawali River.
Okay.
Our unit.
And you were from the Gold Coast?
Yes, I was in the 3rd Battalion.
And you had some English people in your
Of course, all the officers.
So which one of you died more? The Gold Coast people or the English people?
We killed the Japanese more.
Okay, I'm not talking about the Japanese.
You mean the Gold Coast?
The Gold Coast side.
Or the Nigerians?
Okay, I'm going to ask you again.
Very good.
Okay, so you were fighting the Japanese.
Yeah.
It was you, the Gold Coast people, and also the English people. So I'm saying that which one of you did the Japanese kill more? The Gold Coast people or the English people?
Thank you. There's something I want you to know.
Okay.
We were part of the 14th British Army. We, from West Africa, Ra West Africa Frontier Force, we were having 81st and 82nd Division. But the 14th British Army, the whites, they were also fighting as another sector.
Yes.
They also fought there.
Okay.
You see, with their officers.
Okay.
But some of them were drafted. They were our officers. Frontier Force officers from West Africa. They were not actually part of
the war.
No, they were not part of the 14th British Army.
Okay.
They had their own officers, and we had our own officers. And killing, I cannot assess, but frankly, because we won the war against them, it means we fought hard. We killed more of them.
Okay. Some of your people died.
Yes, some of us.
Yes. Did you have more black people dying or more of the British?
Because we were many than the British.
Okay.
The NCOs, the whites, NCOs, and the officers, very few. But we were in thousands.
So when you saw some of the British people dying, what did you think?
Of course, we were all fighting. We fought for the British Empire. So obviously, and we also defended our Gold Coast.
Do you know how much money the British got paid?
No, that one, it is not. If somebody says he knows, it's not true.
Okay.
Because by far, they were receiving it by far. That was why it brought 48, all these Sajadete group troubles, which I was among.
Okay, yes. I mean, I'm going to get there. In fact, that's the reason I even invited you here. Okay. So, Ni Ashate Hammond is my guest, WO1. We're talking. Now, after going to fight for the British and fight for the Gold Coast, let me ask you one question before we migrate. Now, the troops from Nigeria, they were known as the Nigerians. Sierra Leone, Sierra Leoneans. You from the Gold Coast, what were you called? Gold Coasters?
Gold Coasters.
You were the Gold Coasters?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So, after fighting the war and winning the war, was there something that you were promised whilst you were at the war, or it was your 30 shillings a month?
Thank you very much. You have asked a very good question that has touched my heart. After the war, fighting ferociously, the commander-in-chief for all the troops, apart from the other generals that I have mentioned, General Slim was the commander-in-chief of the 14th British Army.
Wow.
You know, we were part of. He praised us very, very much that we have done marvelously well. We have won the war. We have conquered it. So actually, they promised us heaven. They said our condition of service will change, pension, everything. Everybody was so happy. But when we arrived, we were the first troops to arrive in the country.
Which year was that?
Yes, 1945, December.
45. All right.
We were the first troops. And we brought the green party dress first.
Wow.
Because Gogos, they wore khaki. Gogos troops, khaki. But we brought all these camouflage and so forth, we brought it first.
Wow.
Not the camouflage, but green party dress. To camouflage us during the war in the jungle.
Yes.
You know, the jungle, green.
Green, yes.
It camouflages. I'm black. If I sit here in the green party dress, you pass, you won't see me.
That's right.
So it helped us a great deal. We brought the green party dress into the Gogos. Yes.
Okay. So you were promised some good things.
This pension, increase of pay, and all that, we knew that they were going to change our 30 shillings and so forth. But December, when we arrived, Governor Alan Benz came.
Yes.
Congratulated us.
Yes.
At Arakan Barracks.
Alan Benz,
yeah. Arakan Barracks. He was so happy. When he saw me, I was so young, he patted my head. He said, my son, you are brave, eh? You are good. So you went to the war? I said, yes, sir. And he shook hands with me. I was extremely happy that governor shaking hands with me.
Wow.
It was a wonderful experience.
And you were 18 years.
No, not yet 18. Yes. 16.
Yes.
I stayed there for 2 years. Then, not yet 20.
Okay.
Yes, 19.
About 19 thereabout. All right. Okay. So Alan Benz came and then he saluted you.
And he greeted us. He was so happy. He praised us. But nothing happened. We were discharged 46. We arrived 45 December. 46, we were all discharged to go to our various places.
Okay.
Yes.
And continue work.
Yes. But before we left, everybody was asked if you would like to defer to continue with the army. But because of past experience and terrible experience, sorrow, fear, and suffering that we passed through, everybody decided to go to civil life again.
So you all refused to join the army again?
Yeah. Not few people deferred, but for me,
yes,
as far as I'm concerned, I decided not to go do it again.
You were fed up with the army?
Yes, at that time.
You wanted to be a private person. Did you rejoin the army?
No.
That was the end?
That was the end.
Okay. So you were promised heaven and earth, right? That they will give you this, they will give you that. When you decided to leave the army, did they give you a certain package?
They gave us something like a bonus.
Bonus, okay.
Just, if they had given us pension and everything, nothing would happen. But because they neglected us, they just gave us the bonus and threw us away. You see. So 2 years, we waited from 46, 47, 48. James Osu was, Tamaklo was our General Secretary first when we arrived.
Okay.
The troops, but an elderly man. So James Osu was younger, so he replaced him. You see, he was heading towards 45, 50. But this man was so young, about 30, 32. So James Osu, we planned. You know the Independence Square?
Yes, I do.
Under the trees there was a labor office there in the olden days. So we all met there. He said, look, if you don't ask, they will not give you. If the mountains will not go to Muhammad.
Muhammad must go to the mountain.
Exactly. Precisely. This is what we did. So we decided. They planned the thing there. Very few people planned it. And fortunately, I was allowed also to be there.
Wow.
I was among those that actually planned. I knew it. So a day was fixed, 28th February, that definitely we'll have to do something about.
28th February?
Exactly.
1948?
Exactly.
That was the day heaven broke loose.
I tell you, nothing like this has happened before in the Gold Coast. Because from 1925, I grew up. I'm an old man.
Yes.
By now. So I knew in the olden days, a lot of things that happened. Nothing of this nature has happened before. Route, that is beyond your comprehension.
48, you were just about 20...
I was 21 years.
Okay.
I was among almost the youngest, 21, with Sergeant Jete Group.
Okay. All right. So what did you do on the 28th of February?
What happened? We planned comprehensively.
Yes.
That from Nkrumah's Mausoleum, those days there was nothing like Nkrumah's Mausoleum. May 24th, all the schools used to converge there for sports.
Okay.
So we decided to start from that point. So all the troops, from everybody, not from outside Accra, those that within Accra. Yes.
How many were you?
210.
210?
Yeah, because we were 7, about 32 also.
Okay.
Yeah, 210.
Were you dressed in your army?
Of course, yes,
Okay.
of course.
Uniform?
We dressed in our uniform. And marching slowly, and you know normally soldiers, when they march, they sing.
What song were you singing?
Brema e, Brema e, Brema e, Brema e, Brema East Africa, Brema Besin Yanko. Something like. So when we went to Burma too, we changed the words the same like that. Yes.
How did you change the words?
Boma e, Boma e, Boma e, Boma e, Boma East Africa, Boma Besin Yanko. Something like that.
Okay. So you marched, and this was what you were chanting.
Exactly.
And marching along.
Yeah.
Ah.
Until we arrived at the crossroads.
The crossroads, yes.
Where the thing happened.
Yes.
When we arrived there, we saw policemen, uneducated. Normally we call them gentle.
Gentle.
Like Hausa language, gentle, uneducated people. With an officer.
And they were all black.
Yes. Superintendent Emery from the police force.
He was white, right?
Yes. They told us we won't allow you to go to the castle. We said, oh, why? Why? Only we wanted to present our petition to the governor.
Who was your leader?
Sergeant Dete.
Okay.
So he was holding the petition. So please, actually we discussed with them. Superintendent, we tried to convince him to allow us to go. We said, we are passing through deplorable conditions.
Do you know who wrote that petition?
Honestly, our general secretary was James Osu.
He wrote it?
Yeah, exactly.
And he was also a World War veteran?
Exactly.
Okay, tell me more.
So, but the leader was Sergeant Dete holding the petition. Now, you know, actually, when I think about these things, it gets me, look, it's a pity. These people refused to, so we said, okay, allow us to select 10 men to go with the petition. We spoke to her. This man was highly impervious to reason.
Are you talking about Superintendent Emery?
Superintendent Emery. He was highly impervious to reason. So we were compelled to scale down the number from 10 to 5 to allow us to go. We believe by reducing it, you might change its mind.
Were you part of the 10 or part of the 5?
No, we suggested to him that he should allow us.
Okay.
If he refused that 10 should go, what about 5?
Okay.
Still, he was adamant.
Was it still Alan Benz who was the governor?
No, Sir Gerald Chrissy.
Chrissy was
Alan Benz gone. Gerald Chrissy, a very slim man. Yes, the governor. I know him personally.
Wow.
Now, we pleaded with him. Still, he was adamant. Instead of negotiating with us, rather he asked one of the sergeants to shoot.
Do you remember which sergeant it was?
Good. Later on, we learned the man's name was Sergeant Chokosi.
Sergeant Chokosi?
Yes, Chokosi. He gave him the order 3 good times. I was standing 10 feet behind Sergeant Dete. 7 feet behind Sergeant Dete. So I saw everything that happened. He asked him 3 times. Chokosi didn't mind him.
Do you remember the words he used specifically shoot at them
Yes.
or shoot or fire?
He said, not fire. He said shoot. He mentioned shoot.
Okay.
3 times to him. But the man didn't bother.
Sergeant Chokoti.
Yeah.
Chokosi.
So he was highly peeved. He was highly annoyed. So he grabbed the gun from Chokoti himself. And then the first man that he shot was Odate Lamte at the front line. I was in the second line, 7 feet, approximately 7 feet, because I didn't, measure it, but roughly.
Approximately.
7 feet. So I saw everything. When he shot him, Patrick Atipo moved forward. I saw him. He made his hand like this gesture.
Like, why?
Why? We are unarmed. Why should you kill him? Then he killed him, shot him too. Boo, boo, boo. He also fell. That highly provoked our leader, Sergeant Jete. And he moved. I saw when Superintendent Emery raised the gun when he was coming. He was going to grab him. If that bullet had missed Sergeant Jete, it would have landed on me.
What was the distance between Superintendent Emery and Ajete?
Ajete, just like here, like from here to here.
Okay, very short.
Very short.
Close.
So he shot him. I saw when he raised the gun. If that bullet had missed Ajete, because I was standing almost behind him, straight behind. But God, maybe God had his own plan, protected my life, preserved my life, to tell the nation what actually happened there. Because I was so young, 21 years, and now I'm 95, you see. So, might be his own plan to preserve my life, to tell the nation exactly, because from the horse's own mouth, I was there. I was among, and I was on the spot. When this thing happened, he shot Ajete. There was pandemonium. There was total confusion. We never expected this thing to happen. So few of our soldiers went to 2,000.
How many soldiers were shot dead that day?
That day, 3 of them.
So
actually, if somebody sustained injury, nobody had time, because we all convert to the post office. 80% of us, when this thing happened.
So it was Sergeant Atipo, Corporal Atipo, right? And who else?
Sergeant Odate
Lamte.
Patrick Atipo. Then Sergeant
Ajete.
The 2 of them.
Who was shot last?
Sergeant Ajete.
Do
They
you
killed Ajete, Lamte first, Atipo second, and then this man, Sergeant Ajete.
I see. So, when these people were shot, do you know how many bullets Emery shot at them?
What I knew was just 3. Boom, boom. Then the other man, Patrick Atipo. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Because being an officer, he knows when he shoots, you will die immediately.
Okay.
We normally shoot in the heart.
Okay. So, do you know what kind of gun he had?
Cock and shoot.
Cock and shoot.
In the olden days.
Tiabofre.
Yeah, Tiabofre. Only during the war, officers, we carry Sten gun. Rapid, short one. Only the officers use.
So you were not armed?
No, at all. We walk freely, singing to the men, because we were going to plead with the governor to help us. So why should we carry arms? No.
So
no, not even penknife.
So when these people were shot, what was the scene like? Did you run away?
We didn't. We scattered. Because we were shocked. Nobody thought about that. So that was why I said there were a lot of confusion. Few people went to 2,000, but the rest started running, some towards Accra. Accra, during the olden days, post office, there was a roundabout. So we all converged there.
So you moved away from the shooting scene?
Yeah.
What happened to the bodies that were lying there? Did you carry the bodies along, or you left them there?
Everybody was finding his head, where to safety, his safety place. So we all moved towards this thing. Nobody looked back.
Do you know if Superintendent Emery himself had been to the war or not?
No, I don't. He was just a police officer. We know later on. We know. He led the policeman. So we knew that he was a police officer.
So in those days, it was only soldiers who went to war?
Of course.
No police?
No police at all.
Okay. So after you converged at the post office, what happened?
Well, at the post office, you know, everybody was annoyed. So the whites, I will tell you the truth, the whites, you know, the soldiers, when you come, we won't kill you. We'll just throw you away and then put fire in the car.
Okay.
Your car.
So you started to burn their cars.
Yeah, exactly. And the population of the Gokos highly annoyed everybody. That which you took our children to Burma, the war to fight. Now you have killed them. Oh, good Jesus. Everybody was highly annoyed. So they started looting.
Wow.
The stores, the white stores, UAC, Kingsway. If you ask any of them, they will tell you. Day and night. And the police too prevented the people from looting. So they were shooting people.
Who was the king of Accra at that time?
At that time, Obletaki.
Obletaki?
Yes. This is history.
He was the king. He was the king of Alata, right?
Yeah.
Osu Alata.
No, he was paramount chief for the whole region, for the whole Accra.
The whole Accra.
But Osu Dowona.
Nidowona. War.
Yeah.
And the king of Accra, what did he do?
Well, later on, this is a government level matter. So for us, no.
So you started burning and looting?
Not us. Not us. The townspeople, the population.
Okay.
They were annoyed that they kill us. Instead of compensating us, they kill us. So they were annoyed, started revenge. They also.
Okay.
So if anybody says, have the impression that 48 looting and rouse started, no, something happened. If there is a bell and you don't touch the bell,
it will ring.
There won't be any sound.
Yes.
Yes. So this is precisely what happened. You see, after killing us, the result was that there was rouse. So I remember later on, during King George VI, this queen's father, he was then the king. The rout was so much, Nigerian troops were brought in to quell the rout. They failed. Yes. And you know, before we were discharged, a lot of our people too, from Ashanti, young men, Koforidua and other places, after our discharge, they all went back to their homes. So, not quite long, because immediately it subsided. Just about a couple of months.
Okay.
And between and 1.5 and couple.
Before he came in for these 2 months, what was happening? More looting?
No, because it subsided, actually. Many people died. So some people died, so they were healing their wounds.
Oh, people were killed in the looting?
Of course.
Oh, what happened?
People died.
The police shot them?
Yeah, because to prevent them from looting the stores. You know. And
they were shot?
And they were shot. So actually, Superintendent Emery brought an avalanche of trouble to a peaceful nation like the Gokos.
My God have mercy.
He brought if he had, negotiated with us nicely, nothing would have happened. If he had allowed us, even 5, to take the petition to the governor, we wouldn't mind. So give it to the secretary.
Do you know what happened to the petition that Ajete?
Thank you very much. Yes. Everybody was running helter-skelter. Immediately, what happened? So nobody thought about the petition. Ajete too was killed. So nobody. You trying to protect yourself and going after a paper petition. No, everybody bolted away.
Okay. Did you have any specific shops that you were looting?
Kingsway, GB Oliver, UTC, Bush and Stevenson, all these people, all the shops.
Oh, the shops owned by the British?
Exactly, by the whites. Bush and Stevenson, all of them. GB Oliver, everywhere. UTC. They scattered the whole place.
Okay, so what this commission came in?
When they came in, their mission was that the king wanted to know why Ajete Group, because that sparked the trouble. That started the whole trouble. why they were massacred, why they were killed. So when they came, I think they looked into that one. I learned later on. Then, because what actually started the trouble, you will look into that one first. Why? These people were killed. Then, if there are other problems to solve, then they will look after that. I learned that, later on, we had then advanced more than our constitution.
Interesting.
Gokus have moved too fast, more than our constitution. Because there are certain things they should have addressed so that there will be peace. But no, they ignore it. And because of that, and also to Niponi, about a year, 47.
Who was
Niponi? He was one of the Osu chiefs.
Osualata.
The wing chiefs, Osualata.
Okay.
So he also staged this thing that nobody should buy exorbitant goods. The white goods were there. So he went on a tour advising everybody. So there were slight tension already.
The same 1948?
No, 47.
47.
Yeah.
Okay, a year before
exactly
these things. Okay.
So, but when added our own to it, it aggravated the whole situation.
I like that.
Aggravated the whole situation. So that actually caused more trouble too.
Okay.
But our own, because we were killed. And I want to say something.
Okay.
President Mills actually said it. Why? Because when our thing happened, Kwame Nkrumah, President Akufo-Addo's father, and everybody, they were the big six, they were arrested. They said they condone and connive with us to cause that trouble.
Okay. Now, before I touch on that, what did the Watson Commission say? What was the recommendation?
They actually published. So the top hierarchy, they know it. We were mere soldiers, so we were killed.
Do you know what happened to Imre?
Emre was never prosecuted here. If there was truly law, they should have tried him here.
But he was never prosecuted?
No, I didn't hear Emre was prosecuted here.
Was he sent back to the United Kingdom?
I am very sure of that.
Okay.
Nobody heard that Emre was prosecuted.
Okay. Now, by 1948, I mean, you arrived somewhere in 1945.
Yes.
Right? At that time, did you start hearing about Kwame Nkrumah?
Kwame Nkrumah arrived around, my brothers mentioned it at that time, 47. Around December.
Yes.
Well, I will say something. Nkrumah and co. President Akufo-Addo's father, they did well, they tried. UGCC fighting for our independence. Later on, Akwaje suggested, and they brought Kwame Nkrumah in as a general secretary.
Yes.
And they started your movement. It moved rapidly.
Okay. So, I mean, did you know Nkrumah personally?
I knew him personally, and I worked with the government branches in a, managerial position. Because, for instance, Ambassador Hotel, we started it.
Okay.
There was this thing, announcement through the newspapers, local newspapers. I went on a course, UAC, subsidiary company, Gold Coast Machinery, the technical branch. I was there. There was exam. So I was sent on managerial course, Takrady. Then, when I concluded, about 3 years, I saw an advert that they wanted store officers.
Store officers?
Yes, managers. Not at once manager, but store officers. The whole country, the Gokus, 1,500 applicants.
Wow.
Then it was processed. 29 went an interview. And 29, 4 of us started the ambassador.
My God, I've missed a
4 of us, and I'm so proud that 4 of us started the interview. We went. We were successful. B.K. Asari, Hammond, E.B. Okain, and Dazi, the 4 of us.
Are you all alive?
As far as I know, all of them are dead.
My God, I've missed.
Remaining I alone now.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not
because
dead.
E.B. Okain, Asari, Chief Donko, the Kwao chief, his son, Everybody knows him. He's dead.
So when Kwame Nkrumah came in and there was independence, I mean, well, they were arrested after the riots
They
and
said
all
they
that.
planned this thing with us.
But they were later released, right?
We didn't know anything about it. Later they were released.
Okay, so when independence came, did you have confidence in being able to rule yourselves without the white people?
Everything one must try assiduously. Perseverance. You can't say if somebody, for me, what somebody has been able to do, I can do it too. That was why I did Tombo, this work for Africa and Ghana. Yes, I did it.
Okay, all right. So when Kwame Nkrumah came in, what was the atmosphere like as president?
It actually generated interest and also the youth. You see, he said something, one. You know, the leader said, step by step. But Kwame Nkrumah said, now. You know why? Because King Ansa, they signed 1844 bond with the British. And by the time 47, Kwame Nkrumah came, it has passed because 100 years, they should have allowed left us free.
Yes, yes.
You know, 100 years, 1944. But Nkrumah came 47.
Yes.
And Nkrumah was once a teacher. He knew all this. So he said, no, they have to give it to us.
Independence now.
Independent now. The same like Britain and Hong Kong and China. They signed an agreement 100 years. Went 100 years. The Queen went and handed over to them.
Why did they overthrow Nkrumah? What was his? What did he do wrong?
Thank you. Nobody is perfect. Mistakes are inevitable.
Yes.
As a human being. Nobody can score a mark of 100, excellent, 100%. No. No matter whatever you do, you are a human being.
Yeah.
Mistakes are inevitable. You commit mistakes.
Right.
So not everybody will like the way he was going. It is true.
In your opinion, what did he do wrong?
In my opinion, different everybody's mind. Because there was, this preventive detention, something like that. People were detained. But I happen to know later why this detention, not knowing that, Halley was the commissioner.
Yes,
He was in charge of security.
Yes.
He goes to tell Nkrumah that these people were throwing bombs and this and that. So Nkrumah thought that he was helping him. Obviously, as a leader, we have advisors. So because of that, he's used to sign. By signing, he generated hatred for Nkrumah. He didn't realize.
Also, it was intentional. Highly intentionally made enemies for Kwame Nkrumah.
Of course, that is plain. It is plain. He was in charge of security as a commissioner of police.
Where was Harley from? Which part of Ghana?
Oh, Harley hails from Volta region.
Volta region.
He comes from Anyaku.
Anyaku, okay.
Anyaku side.
Okay. All right. So on the day of the coup, 24th February 1966, what was the atmosphere like?
Nobody knew about that. Nkrumah then had presidential guard stationed at Shy Hills. I happen to know their leader, Zanlerigo, was presidential guards commander.
Oh, Zanlerigo, okay.
Zanlerigo from the north. Kenneth Zanlerigo.
Kenneth Zanlerigo, yes. He died recently.
I know. I know him personally.
Wow.
Got the face like
yes. He had a tribal man.
Yeah, tribal man. I know him. I say I've chatted with him before.
Oh, wow. Kenneth Zanlerigo.
Zanlerigo.
Okay.
And then the deputy, I think, Captain Tete. Egan. Yes. So I know Zanlerigo very well. So, and then General CDS was General Bawa. Bawa was the CDS from the north.
Yes.
But when the coup started, they killed Bawa first.
Yes, Bawa was killed in his room.
Then Zanlerigo managed to enter the BlakkRasta house. They fought there ferociously.
Wow.
But well, what God has planned to do, well, I cannot say it.
So the day that it was announced that there was a successful coup d'etat against Kwame Nkrumah, I mean, you were in Ghana and you heard it. What was the atmosphere like? What did you say?
Actually, people were shocked. they didn't realize it would go to such an extent. They fought very well. But I realized, being a soldier, a war soldier myself, I sensed Kotoka was, when he made the announcement, speaking to the nation, his voice was shaking. He wasn't so sure.
Okay.
Around 10 o'clock, still the fighting was going on. Because I was a fighter myself.
Oh, you were fighting?
Yeah, because I've been to the war before.
All right. Okay.
You see, so I knew it. The voice was shaking. It wasn't so. And if they had failed, they knew he knew the consequence. But fortunately, they succeeded.
Were you happy that Nkrumah was overthrown?
I cannot say so.
Okay.
Every human being has his good and bad side. Krobia Mensawo. We have an adage in the tree, our language. Krobia Mensawo. There are some good parts about Nkrumah. How would we say that Nkrumah was bad? It was good because he built a Tema Harbor Forest. He built Tema Township. He built the motorway. And other. There are some good parts about him.
Was Ghana going through hardships at that time?
No, from the inception.
Yes.
From the beginning, inception, there was nothing like that. The life was so good at that time.
And we were also told that Kwame Nkrumah he retired a lot of the senior army officers. At that time, he retired some of the...
I knew of that. You know, I knew of Otu.
Otu, yes.
And then Ankara. Ankara, he sent him to the bank.
Yeah, General Ankara.
He sent General Ankara to the bank. And Otu to another place. It was General Alexander. Nkrumah had wanted to appoint Major Anthony because of his war experience. When Alexander, our CDS White, was going, Nkrumah made his mind to appoint this thing, Anthony. Because he had a great background, military background. But it was, I learned later that it was same Bedima who actually discouraged Nkrumah. Because when we were in India, 44, 43, 44, they were also fighting for their independence.
Okay.
You see? And Jawaharlal Nehru was their prime minister. When, after the war, he actually honored all his heroes.
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Nehru. And happened in Malaysia.
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yeah, Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yes.
Yeah. And then this one to President Mohammed, Malaysia. He also honored all his brave men.
But Ghana didn't.
You see,
Ghana
sometimes
didn't.
I've been trumpeting from 2015 at the TV stations that we have to be honored. I remember quite vividly, during President Rawlings' 70th birthday, there was a birthday celebration for Rawlings at the Labade Beach.
You were there? You were there?
I was there.
Yes.
And I happened to be the spokesperson that day. I said a lot. The First Lady was there. The Chief Justice was there, Lady Akufo, and then others. Rawlings himself too was there, and the wife. I told them something was always agitating my mind. This is the appropriate time for me to say it. They were all there, and Rawlings, suppose he's still alive, could bear me out.
Yes.
What I'm saying there is true.
I saw that right up. I saw it, yes.
And then I said, Ghana does not honor her heroes.
Yes.
Because in India, 43, 44, 47, when they obtained their independence, they were honored. President Mohammed did the same thing, Malaysia.
How do you want to be honored?
They will honor them, whatever money they will give to them privately, not before all the eyes of the public, do it, that they have done well.
So what would you want as an honor? If Ghana wants to honor you right now, what would you want?
I'll be honored somehow.
Be honored. Okay.
Me personally, remaining Sergeant Ajete Group. I was with them. And sometimes it's a worry to me. They are dead and gone. They are in their grave. That's why I always have been saying it, and I'll repeat it today. that left to me, Sergeant JT Group should have been exhumed. Send it to the military hospital. Send them to the military hospital. Military cemetery.
Cemetery, yes.
And put a fence around it.
Wow.
So that in future, posterity will come to know that these people laid down their life for the country.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
You see?
So you are advocating that the bodies of Sergeant Ajete, Atipo, and then Odate Lamte should be exhumed
and send it to the military
and be reburied at the military cemetery.
Exactly.
Wow.
And fence it so that posterity, children on board, one day will come and then they will see, oh, so these people, they lay down their life for the country. Patriotism.
What did they give you as honorarium?
Myself?
Yes.
Well, I cannot say it publicly like that.
All right.
But I was promoted, and it is unprecedented.
Wow. Tell me.
It's never done in history.
Tell me.
As far as a soldier I know, President Akufo-Addo has done marvelously well, and I have to praise him.
Wow. Tell me more.
He is our illustrious president.
Wow.
And I feel very proud of him.
Salute.
I salute him.
Yes.
I'm proud. Because I'm saying this, when somebody, the government does somebody for a person, we have to let the whole world know what the person has done. And I am taking this opportunity to thank President Akufo-Addo. Very well. He is the commander-in-chief. And now, after my retirement, over 70 years, I was brought back into the army.
Wow.
To be promoted from private to W1.
My God.
This has never happened in a history of any.
And Akufo-Addo did that.
He did it for me.
That was when? When did it happen?
July 20th. Last year, July 20th.
2020?
Yes, I was honored.
Wow.
From private to W1. So now I'm W1.
Wow. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes, and he has done my flavor well. Because, you know, he's thinking of our soldiers. I know if he stay on, he will help them. Because when President Akufo-Addo came, something impressed me a great deal. Immediately he came, he gave to the veteran administration 200 million.
Wow.
To help them.
Wow.
You see? To streamline everything. So he did well.
After that, did the government give you something?
The government, when I was actually something, not too much. Honestly, I expected to have something like a house.
A house, okay.
Because an old man, when I'm given a house, I'll rest my soul there until I die.
Oh, yes, yes.
You see. Sure. So I'm making it plain today. I would have liked it very much. Okay. But my promotion too, actually, will help other soldiers to work very hard, assiduously, so that they will also have their promotion and then help from the government.
So you did not get a house?
Not at all. From the government.
From the government. All right. So being a soldier, were you at the ceremony when this was said?
Abo! When you come, when Makasa Kakra, and when you come and when Tiam Kakra, Mankasapi. Damabara Makade, Bakan Papukakan, and Yamakan Fancy. At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
Proud of farming Chroma. We are the king of Africa. This one is a special edition. The ones and ones. Lord God of mercy. It's a lot.
Ashate Hammond is my guest. Were you at the old polo grounds that day?
I was there, right there. The midnight when Kwame Nkrumah was carried from former Parliament House. 12 midnight, our first national anthem started.
Wow.
And the flag, British flag came down, and our flag went up.
And you were right there?
Yeah, I was right there at the art center with, with my scooter. I was there. Because I was then manager at the Ambassador Hotel.
Wow.
Preparing the way for independence.
Wow.
Yes. So after closing, I came there. During the midnight, I was there. I've never experienced such a crowd in my life.
There was a huge crowd.
From the post office straight to the Independence Square, human beings. Oh, it was terrible.
My God have mercy.
I saw all this. That's why I'm telling you, I passed through a meal of life.
So the big six, Akun J, and the rest of them, were they also there?
I cannot precisely say because the crowd was so much. When he was carried from the Parliament House on the days, I was there. And the days and myself, I think just about 100 feet from this thing, the art center. I was standing there with my scooter.
You saw him?
Yes. And I saw when he was carried. Oh, because it was so close.
So close. What was the feeling like?
It was beyond anybody's comprehension. I'm telling you, it was wonderful because we have never experienced such this thing before. It was the first time.
Yes. And I'm sure that you heard this song too there.
Zylofon FM, lock it in.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get your independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
Hammond. By all means, heard this song. You heard it too, right?
Yes, right. It was an enjoyable time.
Oh my God, have mercy. Now this one is by Lord Kitchener.
Yeah.
Do you know if Lord Kitchener ever came to Ghana?
Once.
Yes. Wow.
From Jamaica.
Okay.
Yes. He was based in Britain.
Okay.
But later on, I think he hails from Jamaica.
He's actually from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, but of course, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you're right.
Port of Spain.
Port of Spain, you know that. That's the capital. So, Lord Kitchener, did you like his music?
It was popular. Those days,
yes.
It was popular.
Okay. But apart from this song, do you know any of his songs that you like?
I know his song, though. Only this one was so popular, nobody...
There was one called The Needle.
But I don't know that.
You don't know that one? Don't worry. I have it. I'll play it, and then you tell me if you like it.
Maybe.
Or you don't like it.
When it sounded.
Yes. Yeah, Lord Kitchener. I'm going to be playing Lord Kitchener. His song called The Needle. The Needle is going to be playing soon. But in those days, when Kwame Nkrumah came, do you think that Ghanaians had too much hope? That they were let down by Kwame Nkrumah?
Well, that was why I mentioned that there were a lot of things good about him. Human beings, look, no human being can claim to be perfect.
That's right.
So he had his bad side and good side. Okay,
so we are going to be winding up anytime soon. And my guest is Ni Joseph Ashate Hammond. Am I right? Exactly. Did I get the Joseph right?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so this is the Lord Kitchener song, and he calls it The Needle. It's an old recording, so it's not very clear, but you can feel the vibes. I'm going to play it for you, so you listen to it.
And I don't want to give this injection. I am not a qualified physician, and I don't want to give this injection. Dorothy is begging for trouble. She insists I should give her this needle. But darling, one thing I want you know. Don't blame me for where the needle go. I push it in, she pull it out. I push it back, she start to shout. Dr. Gage, it's terrible. I can't stand the size of your needle.
Okay. I don't know. Did you hear this one?
You let me remember the good days.
Fire!
It's wonderful.
Oh my God.
It's one of his songs.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah, very popular one. Okay, so we are rounding up. Now, I know that you are a man who never forgets. And yes, that's why I said when I grow, I would like to be like you. I know that you also have a foundation.
Yes, it's true.
What is the foundation about?
I established this foundation for a very good purpose.
Okay.
When I look back, I see these our young men going around, sometimes no work. They pass through suffering. You see, I thought about this, and the street children, destitute,
Right.
deprived, and then the worst of all, my brothers, the veterans that fought the war with me, the suffering that they passed through.
Yes.
I said, no, I must do something. So I established this foundation for destitutes, the young men, to help them. Street children,
Yeah.
deprived. All these people suffering. To crown all, my brothers that fought with me in the battle.
Wow.
A lot of them died. But I don't want my destiny to be in vain to continue. When I'm there one day in the other world, so that it will continue my foundation, God will bless me.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a humanitarian foundation.
Wow.
Humanity, to help humanity. That's why. Not to amass wealth, money, amass wealth for myself, but rather to help others.
All right. So, how is the foundation working? I mean, people send in to
Now I established it recently.
Okay.
So I'm waiting patiently. People that know that my purpose of doing it is good. I know there are good people around. They will help.
You want to help poor people. You want to help some other veterans and all that.
Exactly. Veterans.
Okay.
To help them.
And it's called the Hammond Foundation.
Exactly. Joseph Hammond Foundation.
Joseph Hammond Foundation. Beautiful. And if people want more information, all they can do is to give you a call on 0542 750-110. That is 0542 750-110 or 057777. That's 741791. That's 0577771791. And when you do that, they will tell you how to, support the foundation and all that. Now, I'm going to ask you a very stupid question. You are 95. Very soon you'll be 96. How many more years do you want God to add to you?
Many people have been telling me.
Yes.
My friends and family members, already they said, we know you attain the age of 100 and we will help you. We will celebrate.
Interesting.
100.
Okay, so you want to reach 100 years?
I'm praying to the Almighty God. Everybody wants to live, have attained old age.
So you want to reach 100 years?
When Jesus gives me that, I'll be happy.
And after 100 years, you are okay to go home?
I'm free. Anytime the Lord chooses, then I'm gone.
So if you go right now, if tomorrow I call and I hear that you are gone, God forbid, what will be your regret?
I will not regret. It is God's own decision.
Wow. Do you have a wife?
She's dead and gone.
Dead and gone. You had only one wife?
Two. One died and the other one, actually, later on, I have children with.
Okay.
But they are in Europe.
Okay. So both wives, you said one is dead?
I have my daughter, who have been now as a senior secretary for one of the ministers.
Interesting.
And I have identical twin daughters.
Wow.
One of the secretary is married to a doctor.
Wow.
Mrs. Nyaku.
Wow.
Professor Nyaku's wife.
Wow.
It's my daughter.
Oh, beautiful. Nice one. Nice one. How old is your oldest child?
She's dead. The senior one is dead.
Wow.
Suppose she's alive about 66 by now.
Lord, God have mercy.
Yeah.
What happened to her? Sick?
Well, she was a sick lad. She has been falling sick all the time.
Wow.
So I've been telling her for me, but everybody and the way God built different my constitution.
So your first wife died. How about the second wife? Is she alive?
Oh yes, she's alive.
Okay.
That's the mother of this thing, Veronica, Mrs. Nyaku.
Are you still together?
Yeah, Veronica Nyaku.
Are you still together?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Because I traveled for some time. And then, marriage is a very complex thing. Nobody, if you go through with it, then you are lucky. Anyway, she's still like my sister.
She's like your sister?
Yeah, I love her.
And she lives in Ghana with you?
She stays in the mother's place.
Okay.
But I stay in my own place.
So you don't have any wife right now?
No, at all.
You don't need one?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
If I will decide later. But not yet. But I'm grown. So after I have my laptop, I make myself free and happy with my islands. I continue to learn,
Okay.
I continue to learn, there's no country in the world that I don't. You know it.
Yeah.
That I don't know it.
You know the capital?
Yeah.
Of every country?
In the world.
In the world?
237.
237 countries in the world.
And even there was 2 or more. 39. I know. You ask me.
I'm going to ask you. What? This is very interesting. What is the capital of Hong Kong?
Hong Kong?
Yes.
Kwantung. Kowloon.
Kowloon.
You check and see.
Kowloon.
Kowloon.
Wow.
The district is called Kowloon. Where the capital is.
Yes.
Kwantung.
That is How about Taiwan?
Taiwan.
Yes.
Taipei.
That's right. All right. I'm going to ask you 2 more and we are done. 2 more and we are done. All right. This country, Burma. Yes.
Yangon. Now it is changed to Myanmar. So the capital, they changed it to
Myanmar.
Formerly it was Burma.
Yes.
And then Rangoon, the capital.
Rangoon, yes.
Now Myanmar and Yangon.
Wow. So Burma is now called Myanmar. Interesting.
And
what are we talking about?
Capital Yangon.
Yangon. I like that. I like it. One more country that I like so much. I want to try and remember Georgia.
Georgia.
Yes. That's very difficult.
Tbilisi.
Dodo?
Fire!
I like that one. Oh my God, have mercy. What are you talking about?
This day will never be forgotten.
This day will never be forgotten. The day that I spoke with WO1 Ni Ashitei. My God have mercy. That day will never be forgotten. Very interesting day. And we're looking forward to having more and more deep interviews with you. Because you have so much knowledge. And we're looking forward to having that. You were just praising Nana Akufo-Addo. I'm going to make you a few enemies right now. Nana Akufo-Addo as compared to Kwame Nkrumah, who would you say is a better president?
Good. You have asked me a very intelligent question.
Interesting.
President Akufo-Addo has his good side.
Yeah.
He's a human being. Obviously, he commits mistakes.
Yes.
Nobody can say he's perfect, excellent. Nobody gets excellent. So, he's playing his part marvelously well.
Right.
Even imagine, he promoted me from private to WO1. I appreciate and I salute him.
That's right.
Kwame Nkrumah too did his part. The Mahabo,
yes,
motorway, and other things. So he has his good side and bad side too. That's all I would say.
That's all.
Yes, and President Akufo-Addo,
Yes.
right now, is my illustrious president.
Illustrious president. And Kwame Nkrumah would be what?
Very, very, very good. Osajifo.
Yes.
That's all. But what I know is...
But I will ask you another thing. How come after the riot and everything, Nkrumah was held up, locked up and all that? When Nkrumah came out of jail and there was independence and all that, how come Nkrumah did not honor you? Because he
Thank
knew
you
what was
very
happening.
much.
Yes.
We talked about this, even Sajajetewa. But I realized that he just started. And the volume of work on him was just terrible.
Too much.
So huge. So colossal to think about this from beginning.
Wow.
Along the line, probably if he was not overthrown, he might have done it. I don't know. You see? But President Akufo-Addo, you see, along the line, everybody plays his part. Now is the turn of President Akufo-Addo. He has done something for me. And I'm asking more so that he honor us and Sajajete group to honor us.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to ask you a few people around Kwame Nkrumah and see if you remember them. Do you remember June Mill?
Who?
June Mill.
Mill?
Yes.
Then he's not having top position because I know even the beginning, all the ministers, the ex-official ministers.
Okay. Do you remember Kwesi Saki?
I know. He was the first Ghanaian president of the UN.
That's good. And he betrayed Kwame Nkrumah later. Okay, so June Mill was actually Kwame Nkrumah's secretary. You know, they were working, she was a white woman and blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes.
I know her.
Okay.
The woman.
Yes.
He's secretary.
Yes.
Even he wrote Nkrumah books.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Who would you say is your West Ghanaian soldier?
West Ghanaian soldier?
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody I know.
Not even Kotoka?
Kotoka. Where his period, he taught his group. They felt that they were doing good things. So I cannot say it's bad. He has his own opinion. I have my opinion. That's all.
I want to thank you so much. I want to appreciate you.
There is something I want to say.
Yes, please.
I want to ask something. The president. I want to take this opportunity to pass through your channel.
Okay.
To appeal to him, one, Sajajete Group, to do something for us. Honor. It's okay. It's fine. We pass through a meal of life. We lay down our life for this nation. So I'm taking the opportunity to do in a humble way. In a humble way.
Are you asking for the honor for the whole group? Because you said you have been honored already.
I've been honored by the president.
Yes.
But it will be amount to selfishness if I don't ask anything for my colleagues.
Oh.
Their spirit won't be happy.
Oh, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. There's another...
and then the military. I hail from the military.
Military, okay.
So I'm asking the president, I am appealing to him. Their pay, their living condition, this is dear to my heart.
Okay.
To help them.
Are you from the Lenshe of Teshi?
Yes, I'm from the Lenshe. We are the chiefs.
Okay, that's what somebody wants to do. Uriah wants to find out. Now, do you know Staff Sergeant Doku Tete? He's 87 years old now, and then he says that he was also part of the war.
In Burma?
As a veteran. He was an experienced veteran, you know.
If it's a war, from 90 years, I think, but 80-something.
80-something, no way. All right. We're going to be interviewing him next week, and then we will find out exactly what he has to tell us about his activities as well.
Yeah.
You know? Krobo Edu say, what do you think?
Please, I'm happy you have mentioned this man.
Yes.
This name.
Yes.
If I'm giving a time, about Nkrumah's time, there's a lot that I'll tell the nation.
We will have to invite you again.
Krobo, you say? Not educationally. So for me, I don't believe in chain of degrees.
Okay.
But what somebody can do for his country.
Yeah.
This is my spirit. This is what I want.
Was he a good man?
marvelous. Producer, so in the olden days, when people ride their cars, anybody will call it service. Those days, service,
yes.
not taxi,
Service.
So producer was made Minister of Transport and Communication. This man went to Germany. And later on when he came, we had a wonderful blue train. They sleep inside, we eat inside, people drink inside, from Accra to Kumasi.
Train.
So people call it sleeper.
Sleeper. Wow.
Producer brought it. Now later on, because it was embarrassing, people, top men, everybody having his car, going up and down. Then they say, service. They stop, maybe top man, they will stop the person. So producer came and he gave instructions. All vehicles people want to use as taxi, the mudguard must be painted yellow.
Yellow.
It was producer who brought this thing.
So he was
and
a
then
good
you
man.
put taxi on top. So the whole thing stopped. He did marvelously well.
He was a good man.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We call it moke.
What do you think about the people that Rollins killed? Afrifa and all those people.
He may have his reason. But me, I don't know.
You don't know.
I like him, but because I work with your mother at the ambassador. We started the ambassador.
Okay, the mother was also working there.
Where, yes. The house superintendent. She was promoted there.
Madam Agutwi.
Agutwi, Vic Agutwi. I worked together with her.
Wow.
We're very, very close.
Wow.
And also my confounder and then advisor.
Oh, wow.
She was older than me.
But she was not your girlfriend?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, interesting. All right. Ni Ashate Hammond, my guest. And we are rounding it up. We're going to find time again and go deeper into Kwame Nkrumah's era and all that. He has a lot to tell us. And we'll take time and learn all these things one after the other. Is there any country called Guam?
Guam. Hagatna. It's the capital.
It's the capital.
Guam. Hagatna. It's an island.
Island. You're right.
Yes.
Kai, Dodo.
Fire!
Thank you so much. I appreciate it and I thank you. I mean, if you have any other thing to add, please go ahead and do it. The microphone is in front of you.
Thank you. I wish to take this opportunity. All my viewers, my brothers and sisters,
Right.
I'm asking the Almighty God to grant you long life and prosperity. First of all, good health. Without good health, I know you always end up at the hospital. I don't want anybody to end up at the hospital, but rather to be very strong, because I'm 95, but whoever telephone me, I say, I'm terrific.
That's true.
You see, so I'm asking the same thing for everybody. And I thank you all for listening. May God bless all of you.
Thank you so
very much.
We appreciate
And
you.
I wish to take once again to thank President Akufo-Addo.
That's right.
He's doing marvelously well. Now, COVID-19, I walked COVID-19, and Tom Moore, through his inspiration, he did it for Britain, and I did it for Ghana and Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you go, I almost forgot. You were awarded and honored in England recently.
Exactly. I was given Point of Light Award by the Queen.
By the Queen of England?
Yes.
Wow.
And then Prince of Wales
Wow.
also sent me a special letter and also donation.
So you flew all the way to
And
England?
Prince Harry with Meghan, the wife, also the Queen's grandson, also wrote a letter to me, and I was happy. He said, "You are 95 years young." This is how it is. All the letters are there. I'll frame it.
So you flew all the way to England?
Yes. Oh, no. I represented the Commonwealth 2020 in Britain.
In Britain? You went to
I went to Britain. And I went to Britain to receive my Guba Award.
Wow.
Was handed over to me by President Rawlings in Britain.
Okay.
Then, again, I went again to represent the whole Commonwealth.
My God,
48 countries.
My God. What was it like? Nice? You enjoyed yourself?
It was hectic. It was war celebration. So you can imagine yourself.
My God,
I was so busy, up and down, by the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service Lake. Colonel Chris Warren.
Interesting.
And Captain Lansdale.
Thank you so much.
All of them.
We appreciate you. We thank you. So you are advocating, you are asking the government to honor Sergeant Ajete, Atipo, and of course, Lamte, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
And may God bless the president to stay alive to do this for us.
Amen. All right.
I want to say one last thing.
Please do.
I love President Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Why? He's demonstrating, exhibiting that he loves Ghanaians. When this COVID-19 came, I worked and I was given award.
Okay.
Now, you see the medicine.
The vaccine, yes.
The vaccine for this thing. He has already done it, and Ghanaians were the first country to do it in Africa.
That's an achievement.
Don't you feel proud? I feel very proud. You see, so he's thinking of Ghanaians, those that are suffering.
I like that.
That's what I like.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. WO1 Ni Ashete Hammond.
Abo. When you come, Madam Makasa Kakra. And when you come, when you come, Kakra, men Kasapi.